Yes, I perfectly agree. Because I was watching closely when you were going through the data, and I thought I could try and explain a bit in terms of what you have got on the data. So it is clear that the 2010 World Cup and 2006 World Cup are our best World Cups. That's for fact. We are not able to interpret properly what happened in 2014 because of the many issues around it, and that the team were not in the right frame of mind. So it's easier for us to do the comparison with the World Cups that we have gone where we had no pressures on our mind. Let me just make a quick point here, that at the World Cups that we did very well, or the competitions that we went and did so well, there was a certain carefully plotted attempt and also great space for the players who went to the competition to know each other and to play for some time before they got there. That's why, in my view, I think that this World Cup came a bit too soon for this squad. Let me take you to 2006. In 2006, about 8 members, close to 9 members of the squad that went to Germany were members of Ghana's 2001 under-20 side. The likes of Derek Boateng, Sule Muntari, Razak Frimpong, Michael Essien, John Mensah, John Pencil, Emmanuel Papo were all members of that squad. Think about it. A squad that played in 2001 and won silver in Argentina stayed together, went through the ranks, and were at the 2006 World Cup. They had additions like Otuado and the likes, just to make it a team. But if you look at the main work of the team, and I'll take the game against Czech Republic when we surprised the world, there were 6 of them in that game. So it should tell you that there was a period of putting them together before they went to the World Cup. When you take the 2010 one, it's even more interesting, because those who participated in the 2006 World Cup, about 40% of them were in the World Cup in South Africa. Then we went for the 2009 Under-20 World Cup winning team, used them to play in the CHAN tournament. Many forget that Milovan Rajevac was in charge of the CHAN, where we're second. Again, we lost the game against DR Congo after beating them the first game. And then that same crop, because of injuries in the AFCON 2010, were used in that competition. We went all the way to the final and lost to Egypt. That was the nucleus of the team that went to 2010. So experience in 2006, plus the young ones who had 2 tournament experiences, and then 1 or 2 who had come, like Kevin Prince Boateng and co, to join the squad, went in 2010 and did what they did. Actually, on paper, 2014 was supposed to be the best squad ever, because we had rolled over from 2006, 2010 and 2014, but they had issues, so we don't touch them. This particular squad you are talking about actually has come about after Ghana messed up in the Africa Cup of Nations. You look at the space between March and now, this is all they have got. The funny thing about this squad is, 1, they didn't have enough time because a lot of cancellations came about. So even the time that we were going to use to play Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers were cancelled. All they had was 1 Africa Cup of Nations or 2 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers against Madagascar and Central African Republic. They went to the Kirin Cup, where they didn't have their key players. And then they played friendlies against Nicaragua, Brazil, and Switzerland. It is only at the Switzerland game where we could say that the team had the full complement to do something. And so going into the competition, it did not lie that Ghana was the lowest ranked team, number 1. It did not lie that Ghana had the most inexperienced team, because we had only 2 members of the squad, the 26, who made it into, or who had played the World Cup before, in Jordan and Dede Ayew. So the stats were very, very clear that we were not supposed to be over-expectant. In any case, this squad did better than 2014 because they won a game against South Korea. And the last time Ghana won a game at the competition was far back in 2010 against Serbia. These are the facts. So if you look at the analysis, it is for me to tell you that this squad is at the beginning stage of the 2006 or the 2010 squad. And we must allow them to roll. So it's very, very easy for people to wake up and say, this was wrong, that was wrong, that was wrong, without looking at the analysis. Let me just add a little bit to the Coach Otuado, Chris Hughton bit, just before you go. Now, remember that Coach Otuado and the likes were actually appointed at a period where there was very little time to study a team and turn over. This is why the Coach Otuado option, for me, from the FA, did make a bit of sense. because Coach Addo played with the Black Stars in 2006. He was a scout for the Black Stars in the 2014 World Cup, 2010 World Cup, and had also served as an assistant coach. He has served as assistant coach for Milovan Rajevac before. Just hold on, I'll go. Like, he had also served as an assistant coach with Milovan Rajevac before he was given the job to do. So I would imagine that the plan was Addo, because he knows the boys, leads the charge, and then when he's done, Chris Hughton takes over. I think that is actually the plan. And